Hi everyone. So today I want to cover the risks involved with filing immigration benefits on your own without an attorney. Let's dive right in. So this can be done. If you can't afford an attorney, you don't want to hire an attorney, you can absolutely file for immigration benefits for you or a family member on your own without an attorney. But do I advise that you do this? It depends. So there are certainly risks involved with taking things into your own hands. If you have a very straightforward case that is not overly complicated and you're fairly savvy with reading instructions, doing some research on the internet and putting everything together, then sure, then you can do these things on your own. However, for most people, this isn't an easy process. The immigration petition process for most applications is rigorous, demanding, and requires a level of detail that you must have to submit these applications and get them approved. So what are the risks with doing it on your own? So I'm gonna cover these from least serious to most serious. And I think these are pretty obvious, but I think it's worth putting out a video about this so that you're aware of what you're up against if you choose to do this stuff on your own. The first risk is getting a request for further evidence. So after you've submitted your application and your evidences, an immigration officer starts reviewing your packet and they decide they think you might be ineligible or you need additional evidence. So what they'll do is they'll send what's called a request for further evidence. And if it's something where, they're just requesting, some additional evidence, more photos, more affidavits, whatever it may be, those are pretty easy. You submit the evidence they're requesting and you send it back. The more complicated version of this is where the officer is claiming you're ineligible or you're missing evidence that you don't have. In these situations, you might have to have a legal brief drafted or submit alternative evidence to try to satisfy that requirement. This is where it starts to get a little more complicated, and an attorney would be a great person to have in your corner in this situation. The second risk involved is having your application denied, right? So you've submitted everything, you didn't fill things out, the best way that you could, you left evidences out, and for whatever reason, your application gets denied. Obviously, we don't want this. You don't want your application to get denied, but it happens. Now, you can appeal certain applications and you can refile other applications, which leads into the third risk, which is appeals and reapplying. So I already kind of, gave it away, but if you submit an application that gets denied and you can appeal it, it's appealable, you got to go through that process. So you have to pay those fees, you have to file the appeal and go through that process in addition to the work that you've already done. In the alternative, before I go to the alternative, you might lose your appeal, right? So you're back to where you started. Refiling, so for the applications that you can refile, you have to pay the filing fees again, and these are not cheap. So, for example, the adjustment of status application for a green card is $1,140 right now. They're always changing, but you have to pay that again. So even though you've paid it, you've submitted your application, it gets denied, you have to repay that fee all over again, and the other fees that are associated with these applications. Finally, and the most serious of the risks, is getting placed into removal proceedings. So you fill out information on one of your applications, or you reveal information during an interview that makes you inadmissible to the United States, and you might find yourself, or your family member, if you've done the application for them, you might find yourself placed into removal proceedings. So this is not good. You are placed into these proceedings, you go before an immigration judge, and you have to argue your case. Now, if you have a valid defense to your deportation, then great, and hopefully you win that case. But if you're in the group of individuals that do not have a defense and you lose your case, you'll be returned to your home country and even suffer further consequences depending on your situation that might prevent you from returning to the United States for a certain period of time. So these are the risks. These are the risks. You know, you can take these on. They're pretty obvious, but if you're willing to do it and you have confidence in yourself to fill this stuff out, and maybe you've done it before, you know, maybe you've done this for a relative and it's been successful. For everyone else, you know, get an immigration attorney. This isn't a joke. These are serious applications, and immigration attorneys are best suited to guide you through this process and act as that buffer between, you know, the government and send you in the right direction and really actually help you out here. If you like this video and you want to see more, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll keep making these.